Hello. So I would like to design Wings of Fire hybrids just because I find it fun, and also I get inspired by Cypress Dragon's videos, which I happened to be watching some while I was drawing this one, because that's just what I do. So anyways, this is Fox. She is a Hivewing Icewing hybrid. A pretty rare hybrid, I think. We'll see what happens when the new book comes out. So she is a young adult. She was hatched shortly before the War of Sandwing Succession. Her father came to Pyria, fleeing from, all the crazy stuff going on in Pantala. So, he actually got killed, but Fox grew up with her mother in the edges of the desert, on the edge of the Ice Kingdom. She spent most of the war just trying to avoid burn because she didn't want to end up in the Weirdling Tower. She probably ended up going to the Scorpion Den at some point. That's just kind of how I imagine her story going. So, Fox is pretty quiet. She obviously didn't want to draw any attention to herself during the war. She never knew she was a Hivewing hybrid until the whole thing when everyone started coming to Pyria, which I haven't actually read the third arc, so I don't know a ton about it, just what I've seen. So, I might get a few things wrong. You're not allowed to judge me. I just haven't read the third arc. I will soon, don't worry. So, she is pretty quiet, and she does have some social anxiety, but not too much. For the most part, she just kind of keeps to herself because she doesn't want to be noticed by anyone. She doesn't know why she has 4 strange wings. She thought maybe she was a Icewing. She knew she was a hybrid, obviously, but she thought maybe she was like an Icewing Sandwing hybrid because I added the barb to her tail, so she thought perhaps she was some sort of weird Sandwing mutant hybrid. And then later she found out that she was actually part Hivewing, which is where she gets her orange coloring from, if you're wondering. So I named her Fox because I think that's kind of an Icewing name, but it's also not too Icewing. Like, it could fit a Hivewing just as well. And also, I just really like foxes, so I take most chances if I can throw a fox somewhere in a dragon world. I kind of like to take it because I really like foxes. I'm going to speed this up so you can see, we can skip ahead to the coloring process, so I can talk about that a little bit. Okay, well, I kind of missed part of that, but I did have some trouble coloring her, because originally I was going for a Hivewing Skywing, so she has like some red on her underbelly at first, but after I decided to name her Fox, I decided to change to a Hivewing Icewing, because I really wanted her to look more like a fox, and that coloring with the white, it just fit better for her to be an Icewing. And I almost changed her to a Sandwing, I think. There's different. Oh no, I almost did her as a Seawing because I like blue and orange combination. But I ended up not changing her because her build is just too slender for a Seawing. So once I named her Fox, that just completely fixed my dilemma, and I just went with a Hivewing Icewing because I like Skywings. I imagine Icewings being kind of tall and slender. So anyways, Fox, her hobbies are probably something quiet like writing or maybe drawing. I imagine she finds like a Sandwing and falls in love with him or something, because she does spend a lot of time in the Kingdom of Sand. The heat doesn't bother her as much as other Icewings, and I think it's pretty easy to imagine that she wouldn't really be accepted into the Icewing culture, because Icewings are just they're not very accepting, so. But I gave her a little bit of blue on her talons and tail to kind of fit with the Icewing theme. I mean, I know I could just do white, because Icewing's going to be pure white, but I thought it might be nice to add a little bit of blue in there. She's a good flyer, but she's not super great because nobody really knows how to teach her flying with 4 wings. So she didn't quite grasp it at first because nobody was able to teach her that. But she did get to it eventually, and she figured it out for herself. So by now, she's a pretty good flyer. Her jewelry is pretty simple. Growing up as a hybrid and hiding, she couldn't afford any actual jewelry, but she likes just like the look of it, so she took just like black string, black cord, and I like it. It works for her pretty well. It gives her, like, she likes pretty things, but she just can't afford pretty things, so, but that's not really her fault. I'm gonna speed it up again. So I also had some trouble with the patterns on her wings. I wanted to do something fun, but I wasn't really sure what, and I wasn't sure how to design that. I'm going to speed this up a little more. As always, shading is my favorite part of any drawing process, because I just love shading. It's so much fun. Anyways, that is Fox. She's a pretty simple girl, just trying to stay alive in a world where she's not accepted very well. Let me know if you like her, and alright, I will see you in the next video.